Sun bleeds across the horizon, sky blazes, then fades to a dusky purple. The wind whispers through empty windows. It carries the scent of dust and something else. Something cold. Something old. This is Silent Hollow, a town forgotten. A town where the past lingers heavy and cold like morning mist. The silence here is not peaceful. It hums. It vibrates with unseen things. The road cracks and crumbles. It leads to a town square now overgrown with weeds. Buildings stand like crooked teeth, windows like vacant eyes. This place was once alive. Now, only ghosts remain. Silent Hollow, born from greed, abandoned to fear. Gold brought men here. Gold and the promise of riches. They tore the metal from the earth, built their houses on foundations of greed. They did not see the darkness they awakened. The mine was the heart of Silent Hollow. It pulsed with danger, with darkness. The men whispered of things unseen, things heard in the depths, but the lure of gold was strong. They dug deeper, ignoring the warnings whispered on the wind. Then, the accidents began. Men vanished into the earth, others returned changed, their eyes haunted, their words strange. The gold that had promised so much began to feel like a curse. The mineshaft gaped, a black maw against the pale earth. It was as if the earth itself had opened its mouth to swallow the unwary. The air around it was thick with an unsettling stillness, a silence that seemed to whisper of forgotten horrors. It was a wound in the world, oozing a darkness that seeped into Silent Hollow. The shadows it cast were long and cold, creeping into every corner of the town. The once vibrant community now lived under a pall of fear, their lives overshadowed by the mine's ominous presence. The accidents were not accidents, the townsfolk began to whisper. They spoke of strange occurrences, of tools moving on their own, of whispers in the dark that seemed to come from the very walls of the mine. The air was thick with unease and the whispers grew louder with each passing day. Something lived in the depths, something ancient and hungry. It was a presence that could be felt but not seen, a malevolent force that seemed to watch and wait. The deeper the miners went, the stronger the feeling became, until it was almost unbearable. The whispers turned to screams. The once quiet nights were now filled with the sounds of terror, echoing through the empty streets. The townsfolk were gripped by a fear they could not explain, a fear that seemed to come from the very ground beneath their feet. People vanished from their homes, dragged into the night. It was as if the darkness itself had come to claim them, pulling them into the depths from which there was no return. The town was in a state of panic, with no one knowing who would be next. Their screams echoed in the empty streets, then silence. The silence was more terrifying than the screams, a reminder of the void left behind. The town was slowly being consumed, one person at a time, by the darkness that had seeped into its very soul. The darkness was growing, fed by fear and despair. The mine was closed, boarded up, sealed shut, but it was too late. The darkness had already taken root, spreading its tendrils through the town, feeding on the fear and despair of its inhabitants. But the darkness remained, a stain on the soul of Silent Hollow. It was a constant reminder of the horrors that lay beneath, a shadow that would never fully disappear. The town was forever changed, its once bright future now shrouded in darkness. The townsfolk, once drawn by the lure of gold, now felt the pull of something else. Terror. The promise of wealth had turned into a nightmare, and the town was left to grapple with the darkness that had been unleashed. Silent Hollow would never be the same again. Section 4. Whispers in the dust, shadows in the wind. The exodus began slowly. Families packed their belongings, their faces pale and drawn. They left behind their homes, their dreams, their lives. They left behind Silent Hollow to the silence and the shadows. The wind howled through the empty houses, carrying with it the echoes of screams and whispers. Shadows danced in the moonlight, taking on monstrous shapes. The darkness had seeped into the very fabric of the town, a tangible presence. Those who remained spoke of strange occurrences. Objects moved on their own. Whispers followed them in the dark. Faces peered from the windows of abandoned houses, their eyes hollow and cold. Section 5. The Haunting Presence. The mine stood silent, a dark sentinel against the horizon. But beneath the earth, something stirred. The darkness that had been unleashed was not content to remain buried. It seeped upwards like smoke, seeking new victims. The townsfolk who had dared to stay told of a figure, tall and gaunt, with eyes that burned like hot coals. It moved through the shadows, a harbinger of fear and despair. It was the embodiment of the darkness that had consumed Silent Hollow. The figure was rarely seen but always felt, a cold breath on the back of your neck, the feeling of being watched, the knowledge that you were not alone. Section 6. A town frozen in time. Now, years later, Silent Hollow stands empty. Once a bustling town filled with laughter and life, it now lies in eerie silence, a stark contrast to its vibrant past. A ghost town in every sense of the word. The echoes of its former inhabitants seem to linger in the air, whispering tales of a time long gone. The buildings are crumbling, reclaimed by nature. Vines creep up the walls and trees sprout from the roofs, as if the earth itself is trying to erase the memory of what once was. The streets are overgrown, the houses silent, but the darkness remains. It's as if the town itself is holding its breath, waiting for something to break the stillness. The wind still whispers through the empty windows, carrying with it the echoes of the past. Each gust seems to tell a story, a fragment of the lives that once filled these now empty spaces. The shadows still dance in the moonlight, twisted and grotesque. They move as if they have a life of their own, casting eerie shapes on the deserted streets. And the figure still walks the streets, seeking solace in the silence. A lone wanderer in a town that time forgot, forever searching for something lost. Silent Hollow is a place frozen in time, a snapshot of a moment that refuses to fade, a haunting reminder of what once was, a stark reminder of the darkness that lies just beneath the surface of things. The secrets buried here are as deep as the roots of the trees that now overrun the town. It is a place where the past refuses to die, and where the present is haunted by the sins of the past. Silent Hollow stands as a testament to the enduring power of memory and the inescapable grip of history. Section 7. The secret sleeps, but does not die. The sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of blood orange and bruised purple. The once vibrant streets of Silent Hollow are now bathed in an eerie twilight, casting long shadows that seem to whisper secrets of the past. Darkness descends on Silent Hollow, swift and absolute. The town, now a mere ghost of its former self, is enveloped in a blanket of night, where every corner and crevice holds a story untold. The wind moans, a mournful sound that seems to carry the weight of centuries. It whispers through the empty streets, rustling the leaves of long-forgotten trees, and stirring the dust that has settled over decades. The town sleeps, but its secrets do not rest. They lie in wait, hidden in the shadows of the abandoned houses, lurking behind the cracked windows and broken doors. They linger in the dust-filled air, in the creaking of the buildings, in the rustle of the wind through the dry grass. Each sound, each movement, a reminder of a time long past yet not forgotten. Silent Hollow is a warning, whispered on the breeze. A testament to the consequences of secrets kept and truths buried. A reminder that some things are best left buried. The overgrown graves and the chained gates stand as silent sentinels, guarding the mysteries that lie beneath. For the darkness that claimed this town still waits. It lingers in the shadows, watching, waiting for the right moment to emerge once more. It slumbers beneath the earth, biding its time. The cracked earth and dark caves are but the surface, hiding the true depth of the secrets below, waiting for the day when it can once again rise and claim new victims. The shadows move with a life of their own, and the mist